Here we go. Okay, either way. Good. All right. So I'm going to show the presentation now. So everything's up here. And get into this. Just going to share the screen. Okay, people, welcome to the subcontract reading pre-webinar. I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. Thanks for coming. Just getting up sure that I can see it's on the side. Is it gone? Does anyone else join us last minute? Okay, so I'm going to say the little formal bit out loud because some people are going to, a lot of people are going to watch this on YouTube later. And then we'll just refinish it up. So, have you noticed how people turn away from the biggest karmic challenges they face in their lives, no matter how hard they try? This was me a long time ago. And is that just too painful for them to face as they lack the spiritual myth of life or how to overcome them? So this free live webinar is about how you can help others identify these karmic patterns and how to go about transmuting them so they can deliver the gift of service to the world, the special thing they've been looking for their entire life. So what I'd like to do is find out what you guys are here and what you need from this webinar, and we'll shape it accordingly, okay? So you can do pretty much anything you want. So you just want to wave at me or put your electronic hand up, just say where you're from and what brought you here and what you need from this, okay? Could be anything. Maybe a few questions about the work, or you might want to find out about the training or general curiosity, whatever you need, I'll take it from there. So, okay. Yeah, April, what brought you here?
I'll go first. So I happened to get an email from the Center of Conscious Ascension, and the topic I found to be very relevant to where I have found my services here recently,
Yep.
helping others transmute their karma. So I tend to find that people come across my path and I encounter them and we have conversations where I'm able to just to help to remember what is the divine purpose on why they're here on earth, to be able to ignite them to recognizing that they have personal power to overcome any limiting challenges. So when you mention the topic of overcoming or transmuting their karma, I'm very interested in learning what techniques and approach has been developed, or if this is more of something that each individual person is using their intuition to guide them to being able to do the transmutation.
Okay. We'll get to that. Remind me of that shortly once we get into it.
Oh, yes, April. So I'm April McCoy and I'm coming from the Washington, D.C. area, United States.
Okay. All right. Who's next? Who would like to share why they're here? And okay, Laura.
Hi there, I'm Laura. I'm in Toronto, Canada. Um, my question is with the soul charts, if you and your family member have karma, like the same karma in the same spot, or the same frequencies in other spots as well, could be your talents or your goals, is that a cause for a trigger between the relationship, or is it going to help the relationship?
If they're adjacent, there'll be a trigger that'll bring up the negative expression of the number to be worked through by both people. Okay, but there are many different configurations of numbers in different places in the chart. And we can look at that a little bit later in detail. And other ways it can be help someone grow a lot. One was helping the other one grow a lot, and the other one is having to really dig through their karma as a result. That's what we call a karmic goal or lot. That's not covered in the book because that's relationship overlay readings, which And the first book is about, the first now only book is about birth readings.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that was one just that was kind of been on me, but are we going to dig further into some of the frequencies then, like healing through each frequency, like the fives, the eights, like I feel like a lot of people I've come across, a lot of people have eights, fives, like those sixes, those seem to be popular numbers in the karma frequencies.
Yeah, we can talk about this a bit later once I've got through the basic explanation of the system. For some people are going to watch this the camera and push it the first time on YouTube. So yeah, we can answer some of those. So just if you have your questions, just hold them until we get to that stage. Okay. We also would like to share why they're here, so I got a feel for what you mean. Jessica, where are you?
Hello, I'm Jessica from Louisville, Kentucky in the United States.
Welcome.
And I am here because, thank you. I am here because I seen the webinar after I joined the Facebook group. I just recently got the book, so I'm just here to learn more about all of the things that are provided in the book and karmic and how to transmute things like that.
Okay, great. All right. Who's next? Rachel. You have to unmute. Yeah, what am I?
Hi.
That's it. Yeah, you're on now.
Okay. I'm Rachel Armour, and I live currently in Austin, Texas. And I'm new to like this part of the group, so hopefully like I'm not too like in beginning stages of this to be here today. But I actually saw a while back, I saw you on Gaia
Yeah,
with what's
Regina Meredith.
yes, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, Regina, and I was very interested then. And then I've been reading a lot of books and I came across your book and I, put them together and I now have been like sort of I've been searching for a while for like what my sole purpose and the reason for being here and everything,
Yeah.
as everybody is. But I really thought that this was gonna give me some great answer. And when I did my chart, I think I probably have like the worst one of of like but what it talks about in the books. Like I have all except for one, all uh double numbers.
Okay.
Or is
Yep.
that what? Yeah,
Yes.
anyway, but anyway, that's about me. I have two reasons also. The second one is about my daughter, and it's a last name, kind of a last name change thing. So I don't know if you want me to get into that, but like she's gone by my last name her whole life, but legally it is not my last name, and so I don't know. I did her chart both ways, and yeah, I'm kind of wondering because they turned out totally different from each other, like very, very different. And I'm wondering like how that how that plays out. And I am planning on legally changing her name. Now I'm wondering, is that the right thing to do? So
Yeah. Yeah. For the question section asked me that, and I can show you. I can show you because we're talking about the more advanced parts of it. And you're in the perfect place. Some people come and just read the book. Some people have been at this a long time. So we'll cover as much as we can for all your questions. Okay. Uh, anyone else want to share to Teresa? Yeah. You guys you just jumped. But okay. Welcome.
I'm in Seattle, Washington. I am an intuitive channel and I've been doing soul readings for about 8 months now, as part of my coaching and teaching practices. And I've tried to make Nicolas's webinars several times and unfortunately had schedule conflicts. So what I'm really looking for is any new information on mentoring, any new information on how to be of best service using this tool in conjunction with some of the other things that I do. So really looking for information, just generally growing my own skills.
So have you trained in the system with Almira? You train?
I did, yes.
Yeah. So how many levels have you done? Just so I know.
Just the one.
Okay.
Yeah. I would love to do 2 and 3. Almira and I have talked about name optimization a few times. I have 2 books out, and she helped me optimize the names of my books, and
Yeah.
so I definitely want to do 2 and 3. It's really a schedule opportunity for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, we can get into that a little later in the question section. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give a brief explanation of the system, because some people who watch this will be coming across it cold. And then we'll do a little demo reading. So if anyone feels brave enough, they want to learn more about their chart, we can do that. So people see how it works. We'll talk about the training. Some of you may be interested in that. And then we'll take your questions. There's a good variety here. It'll show different aspects of the work. Okay. We'll look here. So if you guys are able to keep the cameras on, it keeps me connected to you. It's very hard if I can't see you when I get a feel for the energy. It's entirely up to you though. So, okay. So, just moving some things around here. So, let's get to screen share. Behave itself, PowerPoint will behave itself. There it is. So we found out why you're here. It's good range of reasons. So I'm going to sort of go back to the basics of this. And feel free to ask questions at any time as we go through. But there'll be a specific question here section at the end for the deeper questions you guys have brought to the table. Okay, so oops, just trying to move something. So the core principle of this work is that our karma, physical, spiritual, contains our spiritual gift of service, which seems like a pretty strange thing to say. I thought it was pretty strange when I figured this out early on in this work. And so our biggest challenges by the law of attraction are attracted to us in our physical and spiritual karmic positions in our self-inflict. And so we get the opposite of what we're to become initially in life, with the law of opposites. So if you're here to come into your power, you'll feel very disempowered initially. If you're here to be a communicator, teacher, you'll feel unworthy to speak. The idea is to turn your conscious feeling awareness into your karmic pattern, and then feel all the aspects of it, and then transmute it to go from the negative expression of a number, the 22 numbers we use in the system, to a positive expression. And the soul wants to have the visceral feeling journey of going from the negative expression, so massive disempowerment, to empowerment. And that's how it learns through our feeling of our felt emotional journey through the numbers. And if you can consciously bring awareness to what's in a particular karmic pattern, that's why we have all the recommendations in the system and in the book, then that what seemed to be like a very negative expression becomes your gift. So someone who's got a 9, for example, very disempowered, there's the positive 9 over here. What happens there is that they become a catalyst for others to create change. And it's something you have moved through many years of life. And with this work, you can do it much more consciously. So that's why people ask me about purpose. Purpose exists in the most challenging parts of our lives, which most people tend to avoid. Therefore, they get very stuck, as you might have noticed. Right? So this work, if you if you're interested in training, okay, or just even using it within the book, is the answer to the search to that question of why am I here? What's my purpose? It's a big question. All humans ask, what's my real purpose? And you guys, like light workers, you're looking for that much earlier, because you know there's something special you're here to do, and you've got to find it. And you're not finding it at school or work or out in the world. It's inside you. And so this work enables you to decode the secrets of the blueprint to spiritual seekers' lives hidden in the sounds of their name. And once you've obtained yourself on track with spiritual map of life, it can help others overcome their karma. Because the first thing is to work out, well, what's actually going on? Because most of us are driving around in the dark in our lives and keep hitting lots of walls and not doing so good initially. And then to bring out your talents, your latent talents, which help overcome the karma. And as they get stronger, that helps you move to achieve the goals. And if you can start to overcome the karma, bring the talents online, get the goals going, then you start to manifest your soul or life purpose, and life gets much more aligned and fulfilling. And most humans don't get that. They never been found out what this is. This is why this work is here. So it's to maximize your potential while your body to make a difference down here and to awaken. So the system works using the star data. And so a little drink. And when you come to the earth plane, you've got to come down with a plan. You go to the karmic board of earth, and they have a look at your past lives and see what has been the progression of learning every time you come to earth, because you come here. Well, most people who are here in school come 48 to 72 times. You guys who are light workers, you come less. There's a lot of you just go around different planets as you're learning and help people awaken. So you've done this stuff a long time, many lifetimes. So we need to create a brand new personality avatar or ego expression each lifetime. And so the way we understand what that is that we have a physical triangle of energy. And this is where we have to learn to walk and talk, get to conditioned responses, get up and running. We build a personality each time. The soul stays eternal, but there's a different personality each time. And within this physical triangle, we have three aspects of energies which are formed. This in the avatar, this is our ego filter to learn about life. We have physical karma in this triangle here. So this is the two law of opposites, gives you everything you don't like. But the gift of service is in there. And the physical talents activate, are latent. And if it's a good match, they overcome this. If it's not such a good match, this is more of a struggle. It just takes longer. We may need relationships or different names, energies in our lives to overcome that. And as the physical talents get stronger, that gets us to the physical goals. This is what excites you about life. And my physical goals are 8s. I like connecting to people who are into this sort of work, which is why I do these webinars. Okay, that's the physical side of life. So that's getting up and running. And between the ages of 35 and 42, which is the sixth cycle of 7 years or younger, what happens is that we get the spiritual awakening. We get spiritual triangle, which has been running, but it becomes more predominant than the physical triangle. They run simultaneously. This is where we get the awakening. This is where we question our life. I used to work in the corporate world in London, and at the age of 37, I realized I didn't want to do this anymore. I wanted to do this work, and so I moved from sitting in a glass box in the corporate world to working from home and reaching people in a completely different way. And so the spiritual triangle is a true mission, and that builds on the physical foundation of this physical triangle down here. And so here there's a spiritual karmic energy, which is how do we disconnect from higher consciousness so that we can go through the journey of reconnecting. And the spiritual talents are latent, they activate to help overcome that. And then as they do that, that helps us achieve the spiritual goals. And if we consciously work on all 6 outer aspects here, okay, over time, normally humans do this, it's very slow because they don't know what's going on. But if you know have this work, you go a lot quicker for each aspect. This is the percentage complete. So if you work on all these aspects here, what happens is your soul destiny starts to manifest layer by layer. It's not all in one go. You get one layer here, and then you keep working on all the stuff consciously, then you get the next layer. So it's revealed to you in layers that you can cope with, okay, over time. You never get more than you can cope with. You may feel like that, but the tools are there in the soul. So the idea is to manifest greater and greater levels of your soul destiny when you progress. Okay, so and it's all hidden within the sounds of our birth certificate. Because we have a stream of frequencies in whatever language our name is, and that stream of frequencies is programmed into our substance called karmic matrix, which is like a grey cobweb substance at the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional levels. And it literally, from the time of conception, is manifesting our life, our physical and energetic bodies, in what we call our holographic matrix. This is the bubble of reality around us, which is subjective for each of us, so that we can experience life in a very specific way determined by the contract. So the sound is radiating all the time from us. It's in our DNA, in our fields, in our karmic matrix. So I would like to demonstrate how this works. Who would like to be a demo? April. Okay, we'll go for April. All right. Okay.
Yeah, because I have the book and I think I did it, but I don't know if I got my numbers correctly. So
All
I'm
right.
looking
Well,
to see if I did it right.
we will check, see, this is actually correct. Thank you for stepping up. Okay, so I'm just trying to swing the software. I'm just trying to swing the software over. I'm just going to reduce this window a little bit. So we'll accept the software window. So, okay. Here we go. All right, so this is our web-based software, soulcontractreader.com, if you guys haven't already got it, which we use to actually, we built it for you guys who've got the book. Okay. So you get 4 free charts from us in small fee up to that. So April, and what we do is we enter your current name. Okay. And
You need my middle name too?
yeah, I need your name on the birth certificate now, which what the system is based upon. So what's
Okay.
your middle name?
My middle name is Mashawn, Mashawn.
Okay, and the surname is McCoy, or it's different?
Correct. Mhm.
McCoy, okay. Okay, so we copy this chart set ID. I won't put your birthday in because it's video, but what's
It's
your birth sign? Don't say your birth date because of to protect your data.
I'm a Sagittarius.
You're Sagittarius, okay. And you're okay with doing this?
Yes.
And I'll put the consent date in for the software. Okay. All right. Can I ask how old you are? April, it gives me some idea where you are in the cycles of 7 years.
44.
Okay. So this is much quicker using the software than the book. But then teaches you to do it by hand so you don't make any mistakes. So all we just do is go click on chart and there's April's chart. So it's very fast and accurate.
Oh, I did do it right. Okay.
Yeah, so you did do it right.
Okay, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so what we've done basically is the software, to explain the system briefly, the system has matched the sounds in this, in the English, this is an English to Hebrew translation matrix. It's taken the sounds here and notice that, for example, SH, which is shin, is one sound, and Hebrew an SH, rather than two separate sounds. It's figured out all the Hebrew sounds matching April's name, and then it's extracted the Hebrew numbers which are inherent within the system, inherent within the Hebrew. This is different to normal numerology, the Pythagorean numerology, where the numbers are allocated to the Roman alphabet. This is not this at all. This is the pure sound, 22 sounds of Hebrew matching to the sound in English. And if you have a non-English name, we then work out the equivalent written English as it's pronounced to match French or German or whatever, and then we still use the English to Hebrew translation matrix. So we've got these Hebrew numbers here, which all have a meaning. It comes from the soul of Moses. And then we allocate them around the star day. We're starting physical karma. So like we go 1, 17, 20, 10, 12, 13. Just go around here. And so it's the first 6. And then we go around again. Till we use them all up. So we used up all these numbers. Then we add the numbers up. So the total in physical karma is 13. 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 plus 11 in this case is 13. Okay. And so that becomes this number here, the left-hand number. Okay. And to get the right-hand number, we simply go 1 plus 3 and 13 equals 4. So we get a 13, 4. So we have a 13 frequency, we have 4 frequency. Yeah. So these are two, this is Mem and this is Daled in Hebrew. These are just English labels for them. And so April, you're here to experience the range of frequencies between a 13 and a 4, from a pure 13 to a pure 4, which evenly blend in between over a lifetime. Okay. It's like having hot and cold taps in the shower. The blend depends on the day. Okay. And so we work out other numbers in a similar manner. For example, say there's a total for the physical times is 27, because 27 is greater than 22, which is the number of Hebrew sounds letters we have. It has no meaning, so we simply go 2 plus 7 equals 9. So it is now less than 22. So that has meaning, because the soul of Moses channeled through Frank Harper, the founder of this work, my teacher, the meanings of each of these numbers in the 80s. And so the first number is 9 here. And the second number is 9 plus nothing is another 9. So it's got a double number. There's only one frequency. So this means that April, you have a limited set of frequencies. You don't have the same range. Like for you, Rachel, because you said you had all double numbers, the soul's saying it's very specific what it wants you to do. Okay, nothing's gone wrong. It's just that it's an optimal focus for you. Whereas in this case, April, you've got a wider range of frequencies on the 13s and the 11 too, but you've got all these double numbers here. These guys here are called combination numbers. There's a range of frequency. All right. So we've got all these numbers here. And then to figure out the soul destiny, we just it's a product of all these other outer numbers. You take the physical numbers, plot them in the top half of the table. Spiritual numbers, plot them on the bottom half. And that produces column totals of 56 and 38. So 5 plus 6 is 11, 3 plus 8 is 11. But this has to be a single digit number. So we'll just go 1 plus 1 equals 2. So we're getting 11, 2 there. We put this guy in the middle. And then all these channel squiggly symbols came through Frank. And these act like portals or gateways to the numbers, what they actually mean. So this is carrying April's energy in here. So this is April's energy coming through on the chart now. So, April, what's the main question you have about your life? And I'll give you a short summary reading.
Well, the main question I have about my life is that as you mentioned, between 35 and 42, I did have a significant spiritual awakening, and I'm on the cusp of trying to allow my purpose to shine completely. I think much like how you mentioned, I used to work in corporate settings, and now I'm actively pursuing a spiritual career. I'm just, I guess, wondering, should I still do both? Should I just do one? And does my soul contract complete with me just doing one?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good question. How many of you guys have been in the corporate world or still in the corporate world? Put your hands up. Okay, some of you have, yeah. So with conventional training, corporate work is training, is the foundation of training that you're going to use in some form in your spiritual work. Okay, so don't feel like, oh God, I've wasted 35 years doing all this corporate work, but I found what I'm here to really do. The spiritual work, it's not wasted. Every piece of your experience will be used later if you decide to make that transition. It's a big transition to do that. I found it quite challenging, but I got there because I didn't want to do the corporate work anymore. So what you're here to do, April, what if you used to do in the corporate world? So I've got a baseline.
I worked in international development, so I manage health projects around the globe.
Yeah. So go on.
I was going to say like bed net distribution, malaria programming, maternal child health, water and sanitation and hygiene and fragile context settings.
Okay. Right, so you just leave your microphone on just so we can keep chatting there because we're gonna do a lot of talking there. Okay, so this is quite apparent in your chart already, what you just said. Because you're here, 13.4 in both physical and spiritual karma is the divine feminine aspect of God. You're here to look after others and share that care with others, okay? Which is why you did that. Okay, so you went in the corporate world to make a ton of money for somebody. You're here to look after people. Okay, so this is divine feminine energy. Okay, so this is how you are learning to do that. So the lesson is how do we take care of these people with the work you're doing? So it's very important here. And so that's baseline training. So you can come into the divine feminine to look after them. All right. And the physical talents here are 9. So this is a dragon, powerful energy. So just part of you feel very strong and powerful. You can pretty much do what you want, April, to make your mind up.
Very much so.
Yeah. So you're a dragon lady and you're here to catalyze change in the world. You're here to press people's buttons. So do you walk into a room and people get triggered even though you've said nothing?
Yes, I help to bring people an understanding of where they need to adjust their perspective.
Yeah. So you're a big button pusher. Okay. So to make change. So you're a catalyst to create change in the world. It's interesting. You've got this very powerful, most powerful numbers in the system. You also got the most unconditionally loving numbers as well. So you're the compassionate dragon. Okay. And that 9 frequency moves into the 13.4 here. So this is going to, what's your relationship like with your mother, if I can ask?
There's much room for improvement.
Yeah. So the 9 here is a disconnect from the mother, improper mothering or lack of mothering, or you become the mother and she becomes the child. Did any of those happen?
100%.
Yeah. So you're trying to get the right relationship with your biological mother, but actually ultimately with Mother God, with the divine feminine aspect of God. Okay. Our parents represent Mother, Father, God, and how we disconnect from Mother, Father, God. And if we can heal the relationship with our parents within us, then we reconnect to the divine. Okay. So that's the most challenging thing to do, making peace and healing that within us. We may not be able to do it directly with a parent because of the state of the relationship and the state they're in, but we can do it with an archetype of Mother, Father, God, then we can get on with our mission. So that's why your mother was the way she was. So you could learn to take care of others. So this 9 catalyzes you to heal that heart wound, to heal the heal having to shield your heart from your mother, because it puts up a stone wall to the mother energy because of the nature of the relationship. And as that gets stronger, that helps catalyze this 8. And the 8 is all about grounding on it. This is about forming clearer boundaries emotionally, being out in the world, which is why you did what you did. You had to be out in the world in society, helping others. And in the spiritual part of the chart, this is opening to the divine feminine and channeling it through you, okay, to into the world. And the spiritual talent you have is a highly psychic 5. This is a very etheric psychic energy. So can you tell when people are not telling the truth? You can just read them really well. You know exactly what's going on.
Yes, I have all the clairs, clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudience,
Yeah.
claircognizant, all of them.
Yeah. So it's very good when you're working with people because you know what's true and what's not true. And they can't pull the wool over your eyes. Okay, so that's what that's about. And then you got another 8 here. So you got 2 8s. This 8 here is about getting out in the world spiritually as well. Achieving out in the world. So the combination of all of these is to produce the soul destiny of an 11 too. The 11 is a symbol of building your own unique structure of truth. So from all this experience you have here, you're here to take the things which resonate to you and build your own unique structure of truth and throw away the things that don't resonate. And the 2 is about learning emotional resiliency to support others in the sharing of this truth, because this is the sharing of knowledge here and truth out in society to empower people. That's the broad mission. Does that make sense?
It does very much.
Yeah. So some people sort of do a mixture of corporate and spiritual work just for the practical nature of paying the bills. And also you may need to keep your feet in the corporate world. But some make a complete transition. It just depends on what you're into. No, neither is better than the other. So it's just a matter of what you're drawn to. So what sort of spiritual work are you actually doing, April?
So I'm an astrologer. So I do people's birth charts.
Yeah.
I am a intuitive spiritual strategist. So I provide people with oracle readings.
Yep.
I am a Reiki 2, Usui Reiki 2. So I provide people with energy healing.
Yeah.
I also make products and I teach classes to help to empower people to overcome limiting beliefs and recognize their connection to the divinity within them.
Okay. Sounds like you got your hands full.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think you have any time to do any other corporate work, to be honest.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was just like, I'm at the cusp. It's literally, I had a download that today I was going to get the answer. So thank you.
So you're still doing corporate work at the moment as well?
I'm trying to decide if I wanted to go back into it. So no, I'm actually just doing one thing, but
Okay.
I was oscillating between the 2, but now I think the answer is to remain busy doing one.
Yeah. You'll find because you've been in the spiritual world, if you try to go back, you'll find your system will have a really strong reaction against it because you're already on your path. I looked at going back to my old job probably 5 or 6 years into doing what I'm doing now because things were getting a bit tough cash flow wise.
Yes.
But what I found is that when I started, I actually talked to my old boss. And as soon as I started doing that, suddenly work picked up because my spiritual team said, "Oh no, you're not going to do that." And then something's all tap switched on, and all this work turned up. So I didn't have time to go back to this the corporate job. So that would have meant having to stop doing any spiritual work because it's a full-time job. You see, so it's about taking a leap of faith and trusting it'll work. 4s are about taking leaps of faith. It's trusting that the flow of God's abundance will come to you. So because you got in both current positions, okay, it could get challenging at times financially, but Just got to do what feels right in your heart and take a leap of faith, even though the ego goes, "Oh my God, that's not going to work." But if you do what you'll feel drawn to, it's called following the spiritual signature. What opens your heart the most, you take the leap of faith. Suddenly, the hand of God is immediately there, and you realize there wasn't a problem at all doing this, and so you'll find the leaps of faith get bigger and bigger over time. You probably had that, probably leaving the corporate role. And after it's happened 4 or 5 times, you realize I can see the pattern. It's just the leap is bigger, and I'm having to stretch some more. Okay, so that's always going to be there. But after a while, you think, okay, here's another one. Your hesitation is less, even though the chasm to jump across is bigger. But you just take the leap, and then it just works out. But it won't work out until you commit, and you can't go back. You've jumped. Okay, so that's the key to grow your business. All right, keys to grow the business. You just keep taking those leaps of faith. Feel. You're a very sensitive empath, so just feel what's right and just keep doing it, and you'll be fine. Even though the ego may be screaming sometimes and go, "Oh my God, that's just too much," and then you know you're on the precipice. So keep jumping in; it'll work out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Nick.
There's no going back. Okay. And Patty doesn't want to go back. Okay. Yeah.
Reading me like a book.
All right. That's the way this number works. Okay. All right. So you're here to build a body of knowledge, and you're here to build your business. How long have you been building your business?
2 years now.
Okay. Well, you're just at the beginning phase. So what's going to happen with the 11-2, which is about building structures of knowledge and building a business. It's going to go sort of slow. This is time. It's going to go sort of slow, and you wish it go faster. Yeah, you may just be paying the bills, and then it's going to gradually take off like this. And then it's going to accelerate. It's going to exponentiate. Okay, but so build scalable systems and approaches to what you're doing, because it's going to get better, because you need to be building new things, otherwise you get bored. Okay, so building the business is the fun bit, isn't it? Figuring out how it works. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're building new structures for the unknown. Yeah, this is the nature of what we do. Okay. Right. It will take off eventually, but you got to be consistent and keep feeding the energy. I mean, it takes a good 5 to 7 years to establish a business. Okay. You're only at the beginning. So just keep doing what feels right in your heart. You have a guidance team, and you have what we call a visionary template from the higher self in the 5th dimension. The plan for your business has already been designed. You just got to keep listening and downloading it, and the layers will come to you. So little April in her earth suit doesn't have to figure it all out. You just got a clear ego enough to get out of the way and allow your higher self to guide you, and your guides to guide you. It'll be okay. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So there is a plan, and it's meant to happen, and you will be supported as long as you keep trusting here. Okay. And if you can make it to the 5 to 7 year mark, then there's a good chance you'll still be there. It'll still be functioning. So you focus on what opens your heart, it will work. Okay.
So with the 5-5 spiritual talents, I imagine that's supporting all of this.
This here is the guidance system. This and this, the 9s. So this is the highly attuned, intuitive psychic part of you that knows exactly what's going on with people and out. What this is a very powerful channel. Yeah. And the 9 is trusting the inner gut feeling of the soul. The first gut and instinct you have about something is true. Use that as well. Okay. There's 2 different things. All right. Don't listen to anyone else. Okay. Don't ask anyone else what you should do. Just feel it. And if you follow that and trust it, it'll work out. I mean, it is challenging doing this work, but when you've done it for a while and you've let go all the left brain processes within and all the corporate type world, just follow the flow, it works. Okay. Does that help?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Rachel, to have a quick look at your chart. switch on the mic there.
Hi.
Leave it on.
Okay.
We'll have a quick look at your chart. So, okay, I'm just going to close this. All right. Do another demo. All right. So, Rachel, what's your birth certificate name?
Marie, Marie.
Yep. Same surname or different surname?
Yes, same.
Okay. Right. Star sign?
Gemini.
Okay. You're okay with me doing this? You
Yep.
just said yes. So, we'll have a quick look at this. I have to explain how it works. I could just get down to your core question. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you got a 13-4 here. It's not all
Yeah,
all double.
one.
It's
Just
not all
one.
double numbers. Okay. Laura, you had a question. You're okay? All right. So Rachel, what's your main question here? Back to life.
Basically, I feel like I've been like my life has taken something traumatic kind of happened like later in life, and my life since then has been different. But that's also I've been on my like spiritual journey probably for uh I want to say close to 10 years, somewhere around there, but lately the past like 3 4 years really more intensely. Um, I feel like no matter what I do, I feel like I have blockages, and I have yeah, I've just been trying to like get inside my head, I guess. And
Okay.
uh yeah, just basically I feel like I have a reason and a purpose for being here, and I
Yeah.
can't figure it out.
All right. So can you are you open to sharing what the traumatic blockage event?
Um,
Because that's a trigger event. I mean, to know what, because that's probably
yeah,
formed everything else that's going on.
well, yeah, because the beginning of my life, like I was a person that just I knew everything would always work out. So financially, everything was great. And then I was kidnapped and held hostage and tortured and almost killed like the 2012. So um
Okay.
after that, when I was found, like for some reason I just didn't reach out to anyone I knew. I just stayed in the spot where they found me, which was not any place I'd ever lived before. I didn't know anybody. I just don't even know why but anyway, I have slowly like gotten myself and you know out and back to like a human. And well, that was a long time ago. I had a daughter like 10 years ago. She just turned 10. Um, and now, I mean, my life, I'm mentally, I think I'm fine, but I'm still, well, I mean, like now my goals, like as far as like career wise, are different than they were before. So, um, I'm having a harder time getting myself back into the mindset of how everything is always going to be okay, because when it was like that, everything, flowed for me. And now I feel like I'm always hitting a wall. Or also like I've done like his hypnosis past, all these, nobody like you can't get into my head, like I'm locked up or something.
Okay. So the 13-4 here is where you used to trust in the flow, and life will just come to you, just like it did for April. Okay. And this the kidnapping and torture is the disempowerment of the 9. Okay. Can I ask, why did they kidnap you? Was there a specific
They were
reason?
robbing me,
Oh,
and they
well,
they didn't know what to do. They were robbing me. They were thinking it was going to be a lot easier and they could get rid of me, but it didn't work out that way. And then they ended up holding on to me for like a long time.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this the 9 attracted it to you to have this massive disempowerment and trauma for you to overcome. Okay. So this creates a lot of trauma and locks the system up, because this is got a shadow destroyer archetype, the 9 in karma, where the soul misused power with another personality in the past life, probably with the same people who robbed you at a soul level. Okay. And so So it's the balancing. So this can be where you feel like disempowered, and you may feel like a victim of it, but this can leave a lot of trauma in the personality. So I'd say for you, the blockage is the trauma of the robbery and kidnapping and torture. Have you had any specific trauma therapy?
I no, not because I couldn't. I tried to, but I didn't know what to do in therapy or like what to say. And I'm a kind of person that like just was like, I'm fine, but I obviously was not fine. And I'm very strong, I thought, at least, you know what I mean? And like just like carry on. And it just obviously did not
Yeah.
hasn't.
What,
Yeah.
what sort of trauma therapy have you done?
Just when it first happened, like because when the police found me and the victims of violent crimes and all these people, they sent me off to therapy and stuff like that. And so it wasn't this kind. And so since then I've tried to do like past life regression and, hoping that something like that, maybe this happened before and I feel like, something like this has, and I'm trying to get past it. But every time I've tried to do that, it's just like nothing, I can't go, anywhere in my head. I just won't
Well,
let go.
it's not to do with anything to do with your head. You need a somatic, physical type of therapy to get the trauma which is locked into your vagus nervous system from as far as your system is concerned, the kidnapping is still going on. This is why you're locked up. So I would suggest something like EMDR. Okay. Okay. So this is based on, they use sounds or light to stimulate the brain to release the layers of trauma. Okay. EMDR, I think called somatic experiencing. This is all about working with the body. Okay. Talk therapy is limited in how much it can do. Okay. Somatic experiencing. Okay. So I'd search for, there's a good book on this, but search for EMDR therapists, search for somatic experiencing therapists. There's a good book called, look up Peter Levine for somatic experiencing. It's got a couple of books. Okay. And it will explain the true nature of trauma. Okay. All right. I think it's got Awakening the Tiger Within as one of them. There's two books. Get the latest one. Okay.
Okay.
And when I read that, because I had post-traumatic stress disorder from childhood. When I read his books that explain what I've been going through, no one could ever explain it. Then I went to a somatic experiencing practitioner, which is the therapy he developed out of those books. And that's when I started making some progress. Because it's nothing to do with you consciously. Okay. It's all locked in subconsciously in the system. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I've been like I try to get like, clearings and it's just like nobody or not, not it's not them. It's just I feel like I'm holding on to something and I won't
Well, the system's locked
let
up
go
with the
or
trauma,
something.
so your system survives. So it's not something you can think about or search for. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Basically, it's good. These therapies bring the layers of trauma out of your system, so that you can then clear it. Okay, they drain it out energetically. It's nothing about consciousness. It's not to do with talk therapy at all. And you won't find it just sitting there thinking about it. It's not possible.
Right, yeah.
So I would look into those two there, okay, and read Peter Levine's books, and then you'll see yourself in there, and then you'll start the books can trigger you, but that's when I would read a few pages that trigger me, then I go to my somatic experiencing therapist. She'd clear a layer, I'd read the book for a few more weeks, and I'd come back another couple of weeks later, and gradually we got a lot of it out. Okay. So you can get there, and that's how you'll overcome the disempowerment. Then you'll go on the journey back into power. Okay.
Okay, so do you think that like knocked my whole chart out of, I mean,
Well,
or I guess with everything that was supposed to happen to me or something?
this is called a trigger event, and this created a broken heart. This created probably a lot of anger. Okay, this created not being in your body. This created a feeling of not being worthy. This triggers everything. So if you work on the trigger event, everyone has one in some form, then you can unwind everything else in your chart. But you got to get to the one that starts the whole thing. Okay. That's how you do it. Right?
Thank you.
All numbers are not equal. the way this works.
All right.
Well,
So like would everything I guess when I thank you for that advice and I'm definitely gonna do it, but does it not look doomed otherwise?
no one's doing, Rachel. It's just a question of what you do about what's being presented. And I've just given you
Right.
the key
Yes.
to overcome it. If you can unlock that, then you can basically unlock the rest of it. Because overall in your chart, you're here to come into your power, open your heart, work with networks of people, be very focused out in the world, be creative, but be good at business if you want. You're here to actually be a spiritual teacher and to share a lot of love in the world. Yeah. Okay. And you're here to actually take spiritual teaching out into the world and society in a grounded way. That's the mission. But you got to get this, you got to come into your power first before you're going to get the rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's all there. Okay. It's all there. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions on that? Anyone or any questions, Rachel?
No, I thank you. That totally makes sense
Makes
because
sense?
there is something I want to do, but I know I can't do it until I undo myself. So yeah.
Yeah, well, all the hard stuff, all this negative context is your training. It applies to all of you. It's all part
Well,
of
I'm
the
gonna have
training.
some great training then.
Even though you may feel, oh my God, this really sucks, but actually it is your training. And without that, you could not become the person you need to become
Okay.
with this. Okay?
Thank you.
So back to this. All right. So thank you. Thank you for sharing, Rachel and April. So that's how the system works. So I'll explain how the training works if anyone's interested, and also for the guys on YouTube. So then you can all see how powerful this is. And if you're a therapist, a counselor, or workshop facilitator, the thing about this is it gives you an immediate and profound understanding of someone's issues. I mean, I know more about Rachel and April than your mothers do just by looking at their chart. Okay. And it's a very accurate guide when you work with clients, because as they present different symptoms, you can look at the chart and see what's creating it immediately. And then the client also knows, it's true. So it builds a lot of trust. Therefore, you can go a lot deeper, a lot faster. So there are different therapies you apply. You can target the therapies depending on what the numbers are. And in the training, we talk about very specific recommendations, as you guys have seen in the book, you can use. And so you can learn to laser focus your therapies at different times in different ways, depending on which part of the contract's running, because you've got 7 numbers running and the soul's usually showing only a few of them very strongly at one time, maybe one of them. And that's what you've got to work on with the client. So basically, it's the guidance system for their life and for their therapeutic awakening process. So, there's no guessing with the stuff. So what it does is it gives you a structure that helps you understand yourself and everyone else in your life. So you don't waste time trying to figure it out. You know what's there. It's just a matter of getting on with it. And you'll learn how to give readings based upon the sounds of people's names. And we teach you how to do that. And you learn how to open your channel and trust it. And it's magic, basically, the stuff, the way it works. And it's not learning more. It's not actually taking the book. A lot of people turn up because they read the book and want to know more about the book. There's nothing to do with that. What it is that there's a limitation of how much you can do in a book. It holds the frequencies. It's very powerful. But what we do is we teach you experientially. So basically, you sit in the frequencies of the 22 numbers for 5 days, and you become the work. Okay, not knowing it, you become it. So you sit in the field of the training, and we go through the 22 numbers using examples of each person in the class, so that you viscerally heard and felt and received a transmission from each student who shares about specific aspects. Okay, so it's not about remembering, it's becoming. It's completely different. And you're reawakening to the energy of it. And what happens is that We do that for 3 days, and then the last 2 days, we have a day off to absorb that. And we have the last 2 days are where we teach you to hold space and do what I just did now, but in a lot more, over a lot longer period of time, how to connect with someone's energy, prepare the charts, feel which part of the interpretations, because as you know, there's a lot of them, which relevant 2 or 3 key points out of the interpretations are relevant to your practice partner in this moment, and how to tell the story of their life by opening to higher consciousness. So you get a self-contract guidance team, and they'll channel through you exactly what has to be said. It's like a cosmic transmission. So their higher self's talking to your higher self, and it'll just channel through you, and you'll be amazed what comes out of your mouth because you have become the work. And so they get to hear exactly what they need in that moment, and that will radically transform their life completely. Because it's like a transmission from God, really. That's what we teach. And you'll leave thinking, God, I just did a brilliant reading. How did it happen? And it's because you became the work. So you get to do 2 practices doing it, and it's quite profound what happens, and you learn a lot about it, about yourself. So you give and receive with a partner. And then we teach you higher levels of the transmission. And the second practice is more complex. It's very powerful awakening. And so you basically leave the training being able to give readings, provided you apply yourself. With a bit of practice, you can give readings. And that's only the beginning. We have a peer-to-peer Facebook support group, which everyone joins if they want. We have a Zoom support program, which is optional. And we also run a training called Marketing and Manifesting a Business to help you move from a 3D mindset of business, which is we've got to maximize return on investment, which is what we all get programmed with by the Matrix, to move to 5th dimensional love-based transmission. How do you run a business based on love and service to others? And we teach you how to make that transition, because otherwise you'll bring some of the things from 3D corporate into a 5D business which don't work. So we teach you how to run a 5th dimensional service-based business. All right. It's a different landscape. It's sort of a synthesis of what our mirror and I have led over 30 years of doing this, 35 years. Okay. So that's how you can actually, if you understand the actual landscape, which has many parameters which are not in the 3D business world, then you've got a better chance of making it. Because it's quite challenging becoming a therapist, but it's doable if you follow the signature. So if you decide to help people with this work, they will feel a deep feeling of peace because they hear the truth, and they think, oh, I'm actually okay. Everything I thought was going on wrong in my life is meant to happen. Okay, there's a relief. There's actually an order and meaning to their life, because most people feel their life is a car crash. It's just gone so badly wrong, but it hasn't. It's just the way the numbers are playing. So it enables people to feel like victims of life, disempowered to take charge and move forward. So, Rachel, you now have the tools to move forward out of this. Okay, this happened a while ago, but you needed to be in that place so you can get out of this and transform it completely. Okay, now you know what's going on. Okay, quite doable. Okay. So, and you can see, most of us are so got our nose to the grindstone. We're deeply buried in our lives. This helps people pull back. And they see that you show people the big picture. Your life's sort of going over here, meant to go over here, and you've gone off on a tangent here. So we're going to bring you back in and help you converge on where your life's meant to go. And as they converge and align to where their soul's taking them according to the contract, life flows better. It starts to work. And it touches people in their inner being and builds a deep connection, because you just said the truth. And once the truth is said, it can't be put away. People know when you're telling the truth, and they just drop. The ego just dissolves a lot of its defenses, and you can do some very deep work with them. And it can open you to a deeper level of yourself in connection to others as a result. So I've already just said this, but it's about preparing, giving readings so you can do them afterwards, which is the whole point of it, so you can help others. So Any questions about any of that? How you can take this work and help others? April?
I want to be able to get more clarity on if a client is presenting and I'm, done the training and trying to utilize this as a way to better help them to identify some of their trauma. What if they're in the session, they seem to be quite overwhelmed and not able to be in a place to hear the suggestions I'm giving them, much like, we're here and we're hearing you say, everything that is happening is an opportunity because it's happening for you, not to you. It is a way for you to be able to evolve and grow because the instances of things that have happened are helping you to become more resourceful, more understanding. It is helping you to center yourself in understanding, oh, there's a reason for this, so that it's helping me to be able to help other people if they've been in a similar situation. If you encounter a client who's very resistant to that framing or that perspective, how would the Star of David or the way that the information is shared, is there a way that we can bring them to better understanding so they're not so resistant?
You need to find out which number is causing the issue. Okay. For example, if it was a 7, which is about a wounded heart, they may not want you to speak the truth because they don't feel safe for the truth to come out. It could be an 11 too, where they don't have the structure of what they don't get the structure of what you're talking about because they have a different structure of how they believe their life is need to happen. It could be that 9 where they feel that the ego is resistant to change because it would rather stay in resistance than actually go deeper into itself. So you got to work out which number it is, and then from there you actually work out, okay, which bit of it's doing it, and then you come up with a recommendation to work it through. Okay, so it's about client management really, but you can't know till you're actually in the session when someone locks up on you. That happens occasionally because it's pushing into areas which they're just not ready to go to. Well, they don't feel they're ready, but the fact that they're with you means they probably are. Like you'd say to someone to come at 7, it's quite safe here, okay, because they've spent their whole life hiding away. It's quite safe to do that. So it's just about reassuring them depending on the issue that's coming up. Okay. All right. Any other questions, people? So remember, you had a bunch of questions at the beginning. So those of you who want to ask them, now's the time. Okay. Get into a bit more context now. Rachel.
Yeah. I just had a question about like the last name thing. Is it definitely on the birth certificate, or is it if someone's gone by a different last name? How do you determine something like that?
Okay, so it was your daughter, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, let's do it. Just do an example. So
okay.
This is level 2, where it's overlaid. Okay, so what is your daughter's birth certificate name?
Everly, Everleigh.
Okay,
Story is her middle name, Story.
yep.
And then Wilkins, Wilkins.
Okay, that's the birth certificate name, and
Yes.
you said she's got a different name
She
now.
wants my last name, and she didn't even know she had a different last name until like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and I when I named her in the hospital, I wasn't ready to, and like by the time I had to leave, I had to name her, and I asked the lady if it was easy to switch it, and she said, "Oh yeah, it's real easy. You pay $50." That's not true. You have to go through court, which I can do, but I haven't done it, and I'm about to, so I just want to make sure that's the right thing to do.
Okay, so this is the overlay reading. We look at them differently because we want to compare the names. This is level 2. This is about getting into relationships. Okay, so what's the choice here? What does she want to do? What are
She
her
wa-
choices?
she wants my last name, Armor. That's what she wants.
Okay, so this name, the birth certificate name, once it's set on the birth certificate, is permanent. So this is a very powerful name with those 9s. So she has to come into a power like you do, and to share herself, and then to get focused and find balance in life. Feel worthy to show herself. Okay. This name here is like a layer of icing on the cake of this life. The energy's flowing right to left into it. Okay, like that. And this name has less power. It's going to ground her. It's going to give her an 11-2 so that she can build her own structure of truth. Okay, this one here is going to be about opening the heart, learning to give service. It's going to be very intense emotionally. She'd be better off. See, this 9 catalyzes this number to be feel worthy. The 7 to 8 grounds her, helps her express. 11 2 gives a structure for sharing. The 5 is very, very psychic, very gentle energy. It won't touch this disempowerment here. So she'd be better off, Rachel, doing name optimization, where you can have armor and Everly, but you want to have a different name in the middle. Okay. What she really needs here is something to help her work through this 9. She needs another 9 here. She's a very powerful positive 9 to burn through the disempowerment she's had. Otherwise, this is the trigger event for her. Okay.
We do have something too.
Yeah. So she probably needs an 8 here to ground this 9. So it puts its rubber to the road, so it can catalyze her to find balance and worthiness. Because she shares a teacher, so I wouldn't use this name directly, but I would optimize.
Okay. The middle name was not something I even was stuck on or picked. So that would be totally.
Yeah. So you want to go through. You want to go through. She's proper reading.
Okay.
How old is she? 10.
She just turned 10. Yeah, December 17th.
Yeah. So I'll put a link for name optimization. She needs a proper reading first.
Okay.
Or if she can handle it.
I think she could.
Yeah. It needs to be optimized. I wouldn't go with this as it is. It's not going to work that well.
Okay. I felt I kind of, even though I understand a lot more after this tonight, but yeah, something gave me a feeling of like, that's why I haven't changed her name yet, because
right. You're right. Randomly changing names is actually quite hazardous because you get something worse than you've already got.
Right.
Okay. So you need to be very careful with it. So you're reprogramming your reality completely.
Yep. That's what there's something has stopped me all this time, and
Now you know why.
Yep.
All right. Next question, guys. Other people will be writing questions. I think Laura and Jessica might have had some questions. I think if you want, this is your time to ask them. Laura?
Yes, wonderful. Thank you. Mine was if say in someone's chart, you've got the 8-8 in the physical karma, but then you have the 8-8 in the physical talent. How does those two work together to work through it?
All right. Do you want to give me the actual name and I'll show you?
Well, that was just a question I had, but I don't have. It's not mine.
Okay. Well, what we can do is that. So tell me where the numbers are exactly, which aspects.
Just a general question. Like if you've got the same karma number, but you also have it in your talent position.
Okay. So say there's a physical karmic 8 here.
Yeah.
The physical talent 8.
Yeah.
So the physical talent 8 basically is someone who's very grounded, has good boundaries, can really relate to people, is emotionally present. Okay, good out in society. A physical karmic 8 is someone who's avoidant to society, has no emotional boundaries, is in their head, okay, and just doesn't want to be on Earth at all. Okay, so what will happen is that the positive 8 frequencies will transmute the negative expression of it. Negative doesn't mean bad. It's just lessons.
Yeah.
So that's the perfect match. Okay, so that means that person will work through this 8 much more quickly than someone who didn't have an 8 here in talents.
Right. Okay.
So that's actually quite a good combination. That means your soul is organized, Laura.
That makes sense. So my son and I have the 21-3 both in our spiritual goals.
Okay.
does that mean that we're going to trigger each other?
Yep, it does.
So how will he's 7. So how will that work? Like, how will I handle that as he ages?
Well, if this is your son and this is Laura over here, if you have the same numbers in karma or goals as someone else in an overlay, and what happens is that they will create a clash. This is called a goal clash. So it'll bring out both of your unworthiness. It'll bring out both of you trying to do it the hard way. Okay, it'll create challenges between you. Has that happened yet already? The challenges?
Yeah, but then so that's my maiden name. So my married name, it's the 14-5 is there now
Yeah, but
with the overlay.
yeah. So let's say this is your married name of 14-5. So the actual birth name is always with you. It's a cake of your life. So this is going to keep triggering no matter what. Doesn't matter if you change your name because it's the essence of who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the idea of this is gonna create this clash, but if you consciously work on it because you know the work, then you can work through it. You can help you work through it yourself. The issues that come up, you can help him work through the issues as well because you know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Probably want to look at having an overlay reading of both of your complete charts to understand all the different dynamics because all the numbers work together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Other questions? I think Jessica, you had a question, didn't you? I can't remember the detail of that. If you want to, it's up to you. If you want.
I didn't have a specific question. I am curious because I have not yet hit that mark yet. I'm only 33. I turned 34 on the 26th of this month. So I was just kind of curious on like if I'm too fresh or like I don't know. Like I've had some, trauma. I kind of went into my spiritual journey when I was like 28. So I've been kind of going through it, but I don't know if I'm like hearing everybody's like spiels and stuff. I don't know if I'm at the point where I can actively help people with what I want to help them with.
Um, the 35 to 42 is just a guideline. Okay. The fact that you're here means you're probably on the path or you're on the path already. So don't feel it's fixed. So it's a
Okay.
matter of how you're feeling in the moment, what you're drawn to. Just go with what your heart's telling you. Okay.
Okay.
So we use the 7-year cycles to get a rough idea where people are. That's how that works. Okay. So
Okay.
I'd
Yeah.
say you're here to do something. You're now here to do something because you're in the conversation already. Okay. So
Okay.
don't think you have to wait to 35. I think it's now, basically.
Okay, that makes sense. And I had Laura's question had kind of that's why I had kind of raised my hand. I actually do have a 5-5 in my spiritual goals and talents, so I didn't know if that would be easier to explain.
Yeah, it
Because-
means that you can the spiritual talents will help you overcome the fear of speaking the truth because that comes from past life persecution. Okay. So it makes it easier to work it through. Because a five is difficult because it's almost like you're silenced because you can't it's your body knows it's a cellular memory. I'm going to get killed if I say this. It literally can feel like that. So
yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's kind of what I've been working through with coming back into my spiritual stuff. I fell off from it because I didn't get a good connection from people when I was speaking out. And so I kind of fell off from it and I'm trying to find my way back to that. And speaking it out is definitely an issue that I struggle with. So
yeah,
I'm working on that.
yeah. Just the thing is to clear the past life persecution or past lives persecution. And as you do that, then you'll find it easier to speak up. Okay. And I mean, fires are very sensitive beings. So it's tricky when it's a heavy environment where you know I'm going to get it now if I say this. Usually trying to speak truth in the family, which is challenging.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, people? April?
I did. I had a question. Like I say, I read the book and I'm very happy to be here. I wanted to go to the website and see how do I participate in some of the trainings. And if there's like a series of trainings or if it's just one or is it two?
Yeah, we can talk about it. So
Okay.
let me show you. I'll explain the trainings. Yeah. Okay. So here, the level one training, we have two types. We have a Western Hemisphere one and we have an Asia Pacific one because of time zones. Okay. So the purpose of the level one training, it runs twice a year, or 3 times a year, but the Western Hemisphere runs twice a year in spring. This is the spring one, 19th, 21st, 23rd to 24th of March. And where are you, April? Washington, DC, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, so you'd be starting at 7:30 a.m. Eastern to 3:30 p.m. Okay, so I start later so that guys in California will start at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. But 8:30 p.m. at night is the latest I can teach and still be useful to you guys. This will allow you to give, this is the first level, and this is where you'll be able to give a good birth chart reading. Okay, all right. And you can find out more at softcontractreadingtraining.com. The fee is about $900 depending on the exchange rate. The deposit's about $350. That's the starting point. Okay. For those of you who are in Asia, okay, which we have Southeast Asia students are watching this. Asia Pacific training runs, I'll go to the website in a minute. April runs 5th to the 7th and 9th to 10th of June. We start at 6 a.m. UK. So in Middle East, Gulf Standard Time, it's 9 a.m. start, Malaysia, 1 p.m., Hong Kong, 1 p.m., Japan 2, Australia 2 on the West Coast. And the East Coast, it's about 3 to 11 p.m. This is designed for everyone Middle East going out to Australasia. Although we have half the time we have North Americans coming anyway because they can't wait till October. So that again is on softcontractreadingtraining.com. So let me explain the other levels to you. Yeah. So the baseline is to give a good birth chart reading. Okay. And so you go and practice that for a while. And then the next level of the work is just load up. I'm sure in a sec. The next level of work is level 2, which is what I showed you guys just then. So the softcontractreadingtraining.com goes to this page here. This describes the training in detail. Okay, what it will do, I've said most of it to you already. And I've said the stuff about being a therapist or a book reader. There's stuff on Guy here. What will happen? What will result? It's fully certified training. I've said pretty much all of this here. It's based upon this. And these are testimonies from people. And so these are the Asia Pacific and Western Hemisphere training team. So you integrate those first, and then we have at the end of July, we have a level 2 training. So we give you, a lot of people are try and do them in sequence because you can do levels 1, 2, and 3 in a year. So we split them over the whole year. So the level 2 training is learning about what we just did, which is about how to create better relationships, how to do overlay names, how to optimize names. We talked about all of those. So basically, we teach you, you come out of level 1, and the idea is that you need to practice giving lots of readings so you get a good sense of what each of the 22 numbers mean. And once you've got a grip on that, you can then go to the next question, which is what your clients will ask you. They'll say, Laura, okay, you've explained me and the kids and my husband. Now, how do we all interact? And how do I deal with my family? You know, this is the challenging stuff. So we look at all the hidden interactions and relationships and in the progression of names chronologically through time that you may have had. Could be married names, short, different names, things like that. So we see the progression through time with the frequencies that you've been using to actually grow from. Okay, and it helps create harmony in the use of your own name. Like I said to Rachel, it's not a good idea to use the middle story in the middle name for a daughter, but there'll be a more optimal one. You learn how to do that. And so the idea is to create harmony in relationships and create a better life, especially good for managing your kids, okay, and people close to you, okay, so you know how they really tick. Once children understand how that you understand, or their parent understands because you taught them how to manage them, it's a lot more harmonious. So we spend 4 days doing that. Okay. So this is very powerful once you understand what's happening, and you can manage all your relationships a lot better. You know what's driving people, because they're hardwired and they can't help themselves. So once you understand how overlay energies work between different people, level 3 is where we apply it to out in the business world, but mostly spiritual businesses. So what we do is that we teach you how to use the frequencies to optimize the names of all your legal trading names of your business, services, okay, website names to maximize attraction. I mean, we use it for, say, email headers. We can get a 60% open rate on an email campaign, unheard of, using this technology. Okay. So basically, it's how do you transmit the right frequencies to attract the right clients, okay, and lots of them. And you can then help for your own business, but then you can help your clients build their businesses. So basically, it's a much easier way to reach a lot of people with the right frequencies, depending on what you want to deliver or your clients want to deliver. And for those of you in the corporate world, we take the very spiritual language and we make it more 3D, because we get consultants coming, the spiritual, who want to use this in the spiritual world, okay, in the corporate world. So we bridge the languaging so they can use this technology to help businesses which are open to it in the corporate world, okay. And this is the third and final transmission. So there are 3 primary transmissions, so you're fully activated into the work. So by the time you hit this level, when you do readings, personal readings, most of the guys can just look at the chart for a few minutes, just attune to it, then give the reading the next day. But up to that point, you initially have to make a lot of notes as you practice, but basically you become it. But it takes three transmissions. And it's not just the conscious knowledge, but it's being in 3 progressively increasing higher frequency fields. Okay. So you can deliver the work. Does that help, April? Get a grip on that? Okay. All right.
What are the dates for level 3 training?
Oops. To share them again. It's at the end of the year.
Is it October?
No, I think it is December. So this level 3 runs the 3rd to the 6th of December. So we spread it out so you've got time to practice level 2 beforehand. Okay, which is a prerequisite. And level 2 runs, I think it's the end of July. Level 2 runs 31st of July to the 3rd of August. Level 2 and 3 only run once a year, because that's all the time. We don't have enough space to run more than one a year with these guys. Whereas level 1 runs 3 times a year, 2 of them Western Hemisphere ones. Okay. All right. Any other questions from anybody? No? Happy enough? Hope it's helped. It's given you some clarity on how it works. When you get into this, it goes deeper and deeper, as you've discovered. There's always more to discover and expand upon, and what it can do to help you and help people around you and your clients. Okay, no more questions, anybody? You're okay? There was a message in the chat, actually. I saw a chat message. Okay, Teresa had to go. Okay, it's okay. All right. So thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing, especially Rachel and April. That was really good. It showed a lot of different aspects, and you had some good questions, guys, because there's a lot of stuff you can cover with this. So And we'll have the video out to you early next week at this rate. So thanks for your time and engagement. And hopefully we'll see something on the training and you can get into the magic of us. Okay?
Did you send me something that I can of where I can get my daughter a reading? Did you say you have like people, or is there some place you recommend for me to do that?
I'll show you here. Yeah.
Okay.
See. So on the website, yeah, if you go to sessions, go to soul contract reading.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and you want to get now I don't do readings very much at all now. I've had a break. So what you want to book is book a soul contract birth and relationship reading. Yeah. And Antigone, who's the lead teacher now on the training, or Antonia, who's the training coordinator, these guys will be able to give her a really good reading. Okay. Probably maybe Antonia, because your daughter needs the name optimized. And Antigone doesn't do name optimization. Antonia's just learning how to do that. But I would help her out as well. Okay, that'd be the one to go for, given what you need. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank you so much. I feel like all the masks on my walls helped to support all that travel I did, and it's there in my chart. So
I think they have. Okay. Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.